Welcome to the Tatyana Show, and we're here at the Change Fest in downtown Tupelo. And who I have with me is a very special guest, the creator and the owner of the whole event, Mr. Matt himself.
Hey, thank you so much, man. It's so rad to meet you the other night at the Tupelo Young Professionals, and it's really an honor to get to talk to your folks.
Yeah, it's such an honor to be here. I'm so excited about this event. Tell me, what gave you the motivation to put on something so rad?
Yeah, well, that's very kind of you to say. So skateboarding was the thing that taught me or introduced me to so much about life that is good. So like in the early 90s, you know, instead of just listening to whatever was on the radio, when I would watch skate videos, I would see like Tribe Called Quest, you know, I would hear like these early 90s hip hop groups, I would hear jazz music, you know, I would hear like alternative music and stuff. So it like exposed me to music that I'd never heard, and it expanded my perspective on life, you know? Same with art. You know, you look at the bottom of the boards and there's different kinds of art on the bottoms of each of the boards. And it's like, why do I like this one and not this one? Well, I think it's because I like the art on this one, you know? And so I never thought I liked art. That's not something you sit around when you're a kid most of the time, you know, and think like, oh, I just like art, you know?
Yeah.
But then that got me into it and made me appreciate it. Same with like travel. So skateboarding is an urban thing, right? You got to have concrete. You can't skateboard in the dirt. You can't skateboard on the gravel. So it happens in cities, right? It's city kids. And like eventually you get tired of your concrete and you want to go see what the concrete's like in Birmingham or in Memphis or in Jackson or, you know, some of the cities around here. And then you meet your neighbors and you meet the other folks who are skating, right? And you make some homies in that town and you meet, I don't know, it's just like everything that's good about life. You know, it was just happened to be skateboarding that introduced me to that. Skateboarding's kind of stupid. It's just playing with a toy. You know what I mean?
No, that takes a lot of skill.
I don't mean it's stupid. I just mean like I can't take it seriously because it's a skateboard. It's a toy. It's the most fun toy ever. You know what I mean?
It's scary.
It's not supposed to be so important. It's just supposed to be fun. Like that's what it's all about. But while you're having fun, you accidentally get exposed to art and music and travel and your neighbors and culture. And man, just like the world needs that.
At what age did you start skateboarding?
It was like I was probably 10 when I had, you know, my first little board in the carport. Because people, you know how it is, you'll be like, okay, I got a pogo stick, or you know, I got a hula hoop, and I got a skateboard, you know. And so I had a skateboard, but I didn't start getting into the culture. I'll put it like this: I realized there was a whole culture around this thing in 1986. And it was through this magazine called Thrasher Magazine. And they used to sell it, you know, now it's everywhere. But for some reason, they were selling it in this grocery store here in Tupelo called Blunt's Grocery Store. They used to be out like on South Thomas Street. And I was like, yo, skateboarding. Like, I like skateboards, let me get this magazine. Well, I didn't know what all was in there. And that like sort of taught me like, yeah, it's about skateboarding. It's always about skateboarding. But it's also about all those things that I mentioned earlier, art and music and culture, and like all of that stuff. Just like I said, it got my head up and out of my environment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just like taught me more about the world. And
Yeah.
so that's my motivation behind trying to bring festivals like this, because number one, you get to bring all the homies to your town, you know what I mean? All it is like, hey man, here's some gas money, here's a hotel room, we're gonna build some stuff, come skate, you know, it's gonna be fun. But then like, when that happens, like all this other stuff happens around it, and then your neighbors in the community come out and they get to see it too and take part in it. So, you know, that's the motivation behind it.
Being from Mississippi, was it hard having such a different style growing up?
I guess so, man. I mean, look, I guess one thing it did is, you know, there are groups of people that are still marginalized very much in this society, right? And so what it did is it gave me empathy for marginalized groups in society because, you know, even though, you know, here I am like a white dude in Mississippi, you know, I'm in the minority and everybody's like, you know, oh, your pants are stupid, or, you know, why do you do this? Why are you not like this, you know, or whatever. And it's just like, because this is what I like, you know what I mean? And so when I got older and went to school, like, you know, other groups, you know, whether it was, I don't know, dude, it was like I don't have to name a bunch of groups, but just groups that especially back in the day, like, were marginalized for sure. Like we would have things in common, like these cultural touch points, like we knew about the same music, or we knew about the same, you know, we'd both been to Atlanta or whatever, you know what I mean? And so it gives you connection with people in the community. So I think even though it was tough, I didn't have it nearly as tough as a lot of folks have it, you know, growing up in Mississippi. But it gave me empathy, you know, for the whole community, because like, I'm just like, why would can I say be a dick on your program? Why would you be a dick to anybody ever? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you just love your neighbor and like meet people and, you know, accept them for the way that they are, right? So I think it gave me radical empathy, and that's what I'm grateful for, dude. And I want to see that spread, right? I want to see all these kids that are coming out and they're enjoying, they're having fun playing on skateboards, but it's so much bigger than that, dude.
Do you still skateboard to this day?
Oh yeah. You can't quit. I'm not smart enough to quit.
No, yes you are.
Yeah, but I'm dumb enough to keep skateboarding.
Yeah. What do you enjoy about skateboarding?
So it just, you know, it's I started when I was 10 or 11, and whenever I get on there, it's like I'm instantly 10 or 11 years old again. You know what I mean? I'm like back in that mindset of like, okay, all I got to do is focus on this, and I'm not thinking about all the other things. And you know, and everybody needs that, you know, that thing that they can kind of like shift gears mentally, right? And it's good for you physically too. If you're not pissed off in life, you're not paying attention, because there's a lot of things in the world that we should be pissed off about. And you got, you know, so, but if you don't have a positive outlet for that anger, it's a righteous anger even, but if you don't have a positive outlet for it, then it comes out in negative ways, right? Maybe you're like yelling at your friends, or you're going and fighting with fools, or, you know, whatever, like having a really aggressive, you know, that concrete treats everybody the same.
Yeah.
Wow, you know, you fall down, and it's like, you have to like get your adrenaline up to go and do it, and it's a positive way of getting your emotions out, you know what I mean?
Really, have you had any injuries while skateboarding?
I've been pretty lucky. I have never broken anything yet. So I'll probably break something tonight, like it's in the mail. You know, it's inevitable, but I've twisted my ankles a whole lot, and they just pop out of joint, you know? And these are, believe it or not, these are not all highway miles. You know, some of these are off-road miles, and so like all the stuff pops and creaks or whatever, but that's just normal.
Even when that happened, you still kept going?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so skateboarding doesn't even really weed out, you know what I mean? Like, you might get into skateboarding, and is it gonna stick? Or are you gonna be some old-ass man like me and still be into it, you know what I mean? Or are you gonna be like, yeah, I skated for a little while. The thing that it weeds out, it's not even really talent, because nobody really cares how good you are on it, you know what I mean? I mean, it's cool that you're good at it, but if you're not good at it, nobody's gonna be like, get out of here, dude, you're not good at this, you know? You're not good at playing at this toy. So everybody's gonna be real cool and open, but it's not talent that weeds people out, it's passion. And like, if you love it, and that thing hit, you know, the concrete's whooping on you, but you're like, man, I love it, I gotta go get some, you know, I gotta go do it some more. You've got passion. And it teaches you too, like when you know, you got it. All right, I'm rolling up to a thing, and I got my feet right here, and I try to do a trick, and I land on the ground. It hurts. Well, I got to approach it in a different way next time, right? I got to switch up my approach. And like in life, there's going to be a whole lot of things. So when you know, when you approach something in skateboarding and you fall down, well, clearly you need to make some adjustments. Maybe your feet need to be in a different place. Maybe you need to go faster. You need to go slower. Well, it's like that in life. Like, you know, you try things and you fail. And you're like, okay, well, am I just gonna lay down and die? Or am I gonna like, okay, I did it this way, but I need to adjust how I'm coming at this problem because this didn't work. But if I move where my feet are, if I go faster, if I go slower, right? It just like gives you that mentality of like, I'll switch it up and keep going and keep being passionate about it, right? That's why like you start out here on the streets in Tupelo, and you're eventually like, you own YouTube, you know what I mean? Or you, whatever you're gonna be when you like, you know, 20 years from now.
Yeah. Okay, now that's your passion, but your passion also led you to your own skateboard shop.
Right.
How did that even come about?
That's just the way that I figured out that I could skateboard for a living, you know? Like some of these guys are gonna be so good at it that people are gonna give them money to like wear their shoes or wear their, you know, skate their boards. So they're like a skateboarding advertisement for that company. That's called getting sponsored in the culture, right? And so like, I probably ain't getting sponsored. And I figured that out. And I was like, yo, I can sponsor myself. Like I could be a professional skateboarder as long as skateboarding is my profession. So there's a little building right down here on Broadway Street, and it's got like, I think that's where AA and NA meets. It's got like a circle with a triangle in it. I rented that building in 1996 for like $300 a month. And yeah, it was like there was homeless dudes living in it and stuff. We had to clean it out. So we put a lot of sweat equity into it. And then started out, we like saved up like $2,000, me and another dude. You know, it took a long time to just save up $2,000 when I was a little kid. I was like 19, you know what I mean? I wasn't a little kid, but I was 19.
19 is young for a business.
Right, to not be spending money or whatever. So we saved it up, bought skateboards at one price, sold it at another price, right? Figured out, oh, capitalism. Like, this is how people do it, you know? So that just, you know.
Oh, wow, and that shop has been there since 1996.
Yeah, so it's been on and off since 96. We started in 96, and through 2008, the last place that it was right over here on the corner where this corner building. I think that was 2008. I don't know, somewhere in there. And then by then I was married. I've been married for 21 years. Yeah, it's rad. Like, it gets better with practice, you know? Just like skateboarding or anything else, you know? You're gonna mess up a lot and you need to like try different approaches.
Okay.
So like, right. So by that point, I had 3 young kids and I knew like, okay, I can't buy Pampers with skateboard money anymore, you know? So I gotta go get like a job. I gotta have this much at the end of the week or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I sold the shop to a kid who had grown up in the shop. And he ran it for a little while, and then he went off to do something else. And then there wasn't a skate shop here for some years, you know, maybe about 8 years. And when I moved back to Tupelo to kind of help, my mom was getting old, you know, and she needed some help around the house. And so we moved back here for a little while to kind of help my dad with her, and opened it in 2019, right before the pandemic, you know, so.
Basically, you are the only skateboard shop in Tupelo.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, they sell skateboards in other places, but, you know, a skateboard shop is measured by, like, what do you do for the culture, you know? Are you out here in the streets, like, with the kids? Are you out here getting some yourself in the streets? Or are you, like, sitting, you know, in the mall? Or are you sitting in the whatever? Now, like, so Zoomies is here, and, like, I'm down with those dudes because let's say a kid goes to the mall with their grandmother or something, and they're like, yo, that's a real skateboard. Well, maybe they buy a skateboard and they get into it. And then once they get into it, they figure out, like, there's a whole culture to this thing. And they got a clubhouse out there called Change, and they got a bowl in it that I can skate in or whatever, you know? So the other shops are they're like an on-ramp to the culture. And when they get there, you know, we're there.
How do you feel to know that you are helping other people live out their passion?
That's a good feeling. I didn't know I was doing that, so I don't know how to feel.
You're the only skateboard shop. Look at all these skateboarders. I think you're really helping a lot of people live out their passion.
Well, I had never thought about it like that, so I don't know. Hell yeah, that's a good thing to do. Y'all go do that too.
What gave you the idea to do the festival?
So this is what we do on a regular basis at Change, just on a bigger scale. So we have like hip hop shows, we have punk rock shows, we have hardcore shows. Just because there's not a lot of those other venues in this area, you got to go to Memphis or Birmingham, right? And so, or Jackson. So we're the venue here for that. We're kind of, you know, I said earlier, skateboarding is an urban thing. You got to have concrete, and Tupelo is the largest concentration of concrete in North Mississippi. So this is like if you live in Corinth or Columbus and you skate, Oxford, Alabama, wherever, you come to Tupelo on the weekends to skate the skate park, right? So we're always having little jams at the skate park and like doing fun stuff with the skaters, doing shows. And so the city noticed that, you know, that like, hey, people are coming in from out of town. Sometimes they're getting a hotel room and spending the night, and the city's making money on that. And then they're going out, you know, and eating food in the restaurants in Tupelo, and the city makes tax money off that. You know, they go buy beers, right? They're drinking beers in the bars. And the city loves that, man, because they get it's a 9.5% tax, I think, on beers. So, and that goes to like give the city money. So they were like, hey, what if you did what you do on a regular basis? What if you did it on a much bigger basis, you know? And I was like, yeah, let's try it, you know? I don't know how to do it, but that's never stopped me from doing anything in my life, right? So
yeah, you should be really proud of yourself. This is a nice festival, and it's really packed out.
Yeah, so that's a great opportunity for me to say, like, this is real. I am proud of everything that's happening out here, but it's 100%. Like, I could not do this. I couldn't do it. I have a team of volunteers that have made it happen. I can like put the vision out there, and I can make connections for people and try to be a good leader, you know what I mean, and try to lead by example, but I can't do it all, right? So if there weren't, you know, a team of volunteers that were like working because they believe in this stuff too. You know, they care about art, they care about music. They might not skate at all, but they care about seeing the culture, right? I keep using that word, but that matters, dude. Like, we're Tupelo, we're Mississippi, we got a culture, man.
Yeah.
It ain't like this nowhere else.
No, it's not. And then you also bring in a culture that's like really more like a city culture into a town where people don't do this type of things. So like you're really like doing something very groundbreaking. Did you ever think that would be your life?
Well, I just thought I was playing with a skateboard, you know? I just thought I was having a good time, and I thought it was really sick to like meet people that didn't grow up like I did and had different experiences in life, and I could learn from them, they could learn from me, I just thought I was having a good time. And the next thing you know, like, oh, I guess I'm doing this for a living, you know, and whatever. If it's inspiring people, that's sick. Like, y'all go do something cool, you know?
Inspiring all these people out here.
Well, nobody's gonna do it for you, right? It's like, it's DIY. That's what this whole culture is all about. Like, you can't sit around and be like, man, you know, Tupelo needs this, or man, you know, they need to build us a that. You got to go out and like advocate for yourself, man, and advocate for the thing you care about, even if it's just, you know, something like skateboarding or whatever it is. Go out and advocate for that. And
what kept your passion going?
I don't know, man. I just love this. Yo, this is the culture that raised me, man, and I wouldn't be who I am without it. So, you know, that keeps me going. Yeah,
do you have any favorite like tricks or like skateboard moves that you love to do?
I'm learning how to do slappies. Slappies are, they're kind of an old man trick, but they're sick, man. You just have to go YouTube slappy session, you know, and you'll see people like bashing into, you don't ollie at all. You don't jump the board up. You just bash your board into it, going really fast. And sometimes it sticks and you go flying. And then other times it runs just right, and you're just surfing on top of a curb, grinding across like, you know. And
that sounds dangerous.
So, no, it's not dangerous. So, all right, let's talk about dangerous. In terms of going to the doctor, right? Like, I'm hurt, I got to go to the doctor. All these dudes out here are hurt, and girls who are out here skating, they all got skint knees and skint elbows. But I'm talking about, like, I got to go to the doctor. My leg's broke, all right? That kind of hurt. The number one is soccer. Number two is football. Number three, I think, is baseball. And you keep going down to number 16, and it's volleyball. Number 17 is skateboarding.
Really? So skateboarding is not even as dangerous as all the other sports?
That's right. Skateboarding, it's safer than volleyball. Yeah.
Right, it's safer than volleyball. Like, what? Who knew?
That's just for going to the, I mean, you're going to skin your knee, you're going to fall down, you're going to be sore, but like, you know, but if you learn how to fall, you know, you'll be all right. That's the big thing in life.
At what age did you realize you were different? Yeah.
Are you telling me I'm different?
Yeah, but in a good way. Like, especially being from Mississippi, like you're you're opposite of just the culture, and you bring in so many like cool vibes that you only
people that are different like me out here, man. You know what I mean? And I think there's way more now than there ever have been.
Yeah, but you bringing them together.
Hell yeah, I'm down with that. I like that.
You bringing different people together to realize, oh, there's a world for us.
Right. That's right, man. You know, and I think I just got to realize, like, I'm the grown-up now. You know what I mean? And so, like, every once in a while, I'm like, why are all these grown-ups letting me do this stuff? Why are they letting me get away with this stuff? When are they going to figure out, like, you know, that I shouldn't be doing this or whatever? But then they're like, hey, this was really good. Let's do it again. So I think you just got to eventually just embrace the fact that, like, okay, you can stay young, you know what I mean? But you can use the agency that you have as an adult and as a citizen and as somebody that, you know, has rights and, you know, has the ability to network with people with like minds, and you can build stuff. You know, that's kind of one of the cool things about the world is you can connect with people and you can build cool stuff that doesn't exist. So, like, let's do that, you know?
And you're doing it. You are literally doing it right now as we speak.
Doing it with all these people who are doing it. You know what I mean? They're the ones who are doing it. I'm just being like, hey, you know what would be cool? What if we did this? You know? So, and making connections with people and then just seeing things grow out from that. Yeah. So, I love it, man.
Yes, but thank you so much for being on the Tatyana Show. And where can the people find your shop at?
So the shop is in Tupelo at 5339 Cliff Gookin Boulevard. All right, that's like kind of across the street from Dollar General, Hunter's Haven. It's next door to Hong Kong. If you don't know where Hong Kong is, you're not a real OG Tupelo. It's like, it's the best Chinese spot in Tupelo. All right, Hong Kong, it's down there in the same little strip with us. And that's where our retail store is. You can go online, like our online store. If we didn't do, man, we send shoes and clothes and skateboards to California and New York every day. And if we weren't sending stuff out, we probably wouldn't survive just on the people who come in from Tupelo, because everybody ain't hip to this stuff yet.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's I'm like, how do you feel to know that you're bringing something that's not even here?
We just export it, you know. We send it to California and wherever, and like, that's okay, you know. That money pays bills too. But like, the more and more people that get exposed to it, the more people that'll be like, yo, like, I like that, you know. I identify with that too.
Is there anything you would like to tell or add to tell the people before we head out?
Man, that's a lot of pressure. I don't know.
Skateboard shop in Mississippi ain't pressure.
All I would say, you know, and I'm just playing about that. All I would say is just do, like, you know, nobody's gonna do it for us, man. This is Mississippi. We all neighbors. We all come up together. You know what I mean? We all grow up together. And if we're gonna come up from the bottom, then we're gonna have to all come up together. We're gonna have to work together, you know what I mean? And it's all the way up then, you know what I mean? So like, let's do that, all right?
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Mr. Matt, for your time. Thank you for putting on this event and making Tupelo so much more awesome. You're welcome, and thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.
Thanks for watching the Tatyana Show.